Let's see. Almost ready here. And I'll start this recording here.
No.
So hi kids. How are you guys doing today? We'll start this. Great. Well, this is Amertat, your wandering storyteller, and I've got the second part of a story we started on Wednesday. And this story is about Papa. Papa. Papa is a lovely, nice old man with a long beard who always sits in the same chair every day in the park. And Sandy, a little girl who's about, she's in second grade, so she's about 7 years old. She always would walk by Papa when she was on her way to school. One day she decided to talk to him. They got to be friends. But one day she came back and Papa was not sitting in his spot. She looked all around. Papa! No answer. Papa! No answer. Papa! No answer. And she had her nice dog, Sandy, with her. Sandy was a big black Labrador, beautiful dog, so friendly. And I don't know if you know about Labradors, but they have very good noses. They not only look pretty, but they can smell everything. Can you guys smell everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so. If you had a dog like Sandy, I'm sorry, like Jake. Jake was the dog's name. If you had a dog like Jake, he could smell things far away that you couldn't even begin to smell. So Sandy said, "Jake, come here, boy. Come here, boy. Jake, listen, Papa was sitting here. Can you follow his scent and take me to where he is?" And so Jake went like this. "Come on, Jake. Could you possibly find Papa for me? Because I'm worried about him. Every day he's sitting here and today he's not here. Please, Jake." "Okay, Jake, come here." So he's always sitting on this bench, okay? So you smell the bench and then see if you can find where that scent went. So Jake went over, put his two paws on the top of the bench, took his big black nose down and went. "Okay, Jake, I'll follow you." And so Jake went running off. And she came running after. "Wait, Jake! Come on, don't run so fast. I gotta follow you." So Jake was very nice. Jake slowed down a little bit. "Ow, ow, 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 ow." Okay, and they walked along. All of a sudden, Jake came to a little pond of water. He stuck his nose down. And in the pond of the water, when he was looking into the water, he saw this funny looking black thing with long ears and a little black nose. Jake went, and when Jake went like this, the thing in the water went like this. And then he put his nose right into the water like that, and the thing in the water disappeared. There were all these ripples. "Come on, Jake," said Sandy. "You're just looking at your own reflection in the water. Come on, you've seen it before. Help me find Papa." Ow, 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 ow. And so off they went again on another walk. And then he came, they were going along. Jake was going so fast. Come on, Jake, wait, wait. And then he stopped. And he went over to this big dumpster where they throw lots of things in the dumpster. Come on, Jake, you can't be inside the dumpster. But Jake was insistent. Jake jumped up onto the dumpster, went, ow, 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 and started scratching it. You mean he's in the dumpster? Well, he must be hurt or something. So she went over, and with all of her strength, she was able to open up the top of this garbage dumpster and look inside. She couldn't see much, but Jake immediately jumped inside the dumpster. Well, Jake, where are you going? And then he jumped out of the dumpster. And guess what?
What?
He had in his mouth a big bone. Jake, this isn't the time to eat. Come on, I need your nose so we can go find Papa. Here, give me the bone. Give. Well, I don't know if you've ever tried to take a bone out of the mouth of a dog when he's holding it like this. But my goodness, it's hard. Come on, Jake. Come on, open up, boy. Come on, Jake, open up. So he wouldn't open. He wouldn't give her the bone. Come on, Jake, I promise you, I'll give you the bone later. So then she had a trick. She knew where Jake was ticklish. And she took her hand under Jake's tummy and started to tickle him. And Jake went like this. And the bone fell out of his mouth. And Sandy quickly grabbed up the bone, put it into her bag. Come on, Jake, find Papa. And off they went again. And then they came to a very thick hedge of roses. Now, I don't know if you've ever been into a hedge of roses, but you know what happens? They all have very sharp thorns. You know, if you ever walk into a rose bush, you have to be careful you don't get cut. But Jake was insistent. He kept going, ow, 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 ow. And he lifted up one paw, sort of like a golden retriever dog would do. He sort of pointed like this, and he stood still. Jake, you mean he's inside the roses somehow? But I can't get in. It's too sharp. But as she walked around the roses, she found a little teeny stick, and she poked the stick, and it was like a magic door of roses that opened, leading to a little passageway where there were no thorny roses. And she got down on her legs like the dog. And of course, Jake went first, and they crawled through this whole space. And as soon as she got on the inside, almost like magic, this rose door closed behind them. But inside was this beautiful garden. There were all sorts of flowers and flowering trees, and so many robins flying around in the air. And even there was a cardinal. You know, cardinals have that beautiful red head. And they were all chirping, and they came over like they were going to greet Sandy. And then Jake kept going like this to find Papa. And right in the middle of the garden, there was this beautiful patch of vegetables. There were tomatoes, there were carrots, radishes, there were turnips, peas and beans. And it was like a wonderful, it was like going into a market, but instead of seeing just the vegetable, you could see the whole plants growing. And there was Papa. He was there with his little hose, watering all the vegetables. Hi, Sandy. How did you manage to find me? This is my secret hideaway. Well, Papa, it was Good boy Jake who found me. Good boy, good boy. Well, he said, I've got a special treat for you, good boy. And he reached into his pocket and he came out with another bone. But this bone had lots of meat on it. It wasn't just a dry bone. It was like a T-bone steak. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a T-bone steak or not, but there's a part like this that has meat, and then there's another part down like this. So it's like a, if I can show you with my glasses here, it's like a T, right? Surrounded by meat. You can see it. No, you can't see. But anyway, Jake loved it. Jake took it off, went into the corner, lay down, and started eating. Well, you must be hungry too, said Papa. Come over here. Let's go into the pea patch. And I don't know if you've ever had peas, but if you take a pea and pick it right off of the plant and open it up, there's those little green peas inside, and you can eat them raw. They're so delicious. And she started, wow, Papa, I've never had a pea like this fresh off the vine. And then he went over, I know you love apples, but how about tomatoes? I'm going to get you a fresh tomato. And they went to the tomato plant, and some of them were just little yellow flowers, and some of them were little teeny green bulbs that came at the bottom of the flower. And then some of them were big green tomatoes. And there was one tomato that was already red and ripe. He picked that tomato. Now here you are, my dear Sandy, try this. And she couldn't wait. It would look so delicious. She bit into it. And I don't know if you've ever bitten into a tomato or not, but what happens? It squirts, right? All the little juices go squirting. So it squirted all over her face and down her dress. She said, oh, what am I going to do? I have to go to school. But I love this tomato. I'm going to keep eating. And Papa said, don't worry, my dear. And he took a handkerchief out of his pocket and she got to rub off all of the tomatoes from her. Well, now that you found my secret garden, he said, you've got to promise me something. What do I have to promise you, Papa? Sure, of course, I'll promise you whatever you want. He said, well, I don't want you ever to tell anyone you came here, because this is my home. This is my secret home. And they saw right behind them, there was a little shack. Let me show you my bed. And they went and took a look inside the door of the shack, and they just looked inside. There was this little fireplace with crackling fire and a beautiful bed with lovely colored cushions on it. He said, so don't you tell anyone ever that I'm here, but we can come back again. You got to get to school now. Oh my gosh, she said, I'm going to be late to school. Yeah, come on, let's go. And he wasn't able to run, but he walked very fast over. He waved his hand like this, and the rows opened up for the little passageway. And Jake ran through it with the bone in his mouth, and she crawled through it. Bye-bye, Papa. Bye-bye, Sandy. See you again. The rose thing closed, the door closed, and she went running off to school, skipping. Doo, 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 doo. She was so happy. She had found a new friend. She had eaten a delicious pea, several peas, and then these tomatoes. And most of all, she had a secret.
I'm gonna go bye-bye.
Now, you know what you do when you have a secret, boys and girls? You never, ever tell. Well, that's the story for today, everybody. I'm going to do another story on Monday and Friday next week at the same time. So you all take care. And don't forget, kids, tell your mommy and daddy you love them today, okay? Because right now, with all that's going on outside in the world, we all need to have people tell us that we love us. And the best thing you can do is just to feel the love for your mommy and daddy and all of your friends and your cousins. Goodbye. See you all on Monday.